Hello there, welcome back again. So this is our temperature and density lab. What we have in front of us here is a container of cold water, a container of hot water, some yellow food dye, and some blue food dye, some index cards, and a digital thermometer. So first, let's check and see what we're looking at with our temperatures here. So this is about 123 degrees, not boiling, but pretty warm. See if I can get where the light's not reflecting on it so badly, but first let me read it here. All right, we're down into 71s now and still falling. So 68, so that's good enough. We could keep measuring and get precise, but the point is that you see that this is cold and this is warm, and there is roughly a 40-degree difference between the two here. All right, so I'm going to put a couple of drops of food dye in so that you can see the water when we do the lab. So the hot water is going to be yellow, cold water is going to be blue, give it a quick stir with our thermometer. And I'm not going to put food dye in the other one. So. All right. This is cold, blue for cold. This is hot. All right, so what we're going to do, get that in the middle where you can see it. I have the potential to make a god-awful mess here, so I've got a cookie sheet that I'm doing this on. When we do this in the classroom, I have a set of litter boxes. Of course, they've never been used before, so they're clean, but that's what we do all of our water labs in. Okay, a little bit of a mess, but not horrible. All right, so now I want to get my jars lined up as best I can here. You're seeing there that so far there's no mixing, so I didn't contaminate the lab by making messes as I put it together. All right, here's the second challenging part. Now I need to get the cards out without spilling everything. Get close to the edge here so I can make sure I'm lined up well. Okay. Whew, that was nerve-wracking. All right. So what you're seeing here is still a separate, two separate colors. We've still got the yellow on the top, and we've got the blue on the bottom. And they're free to mix if they would like to. There's nothing between the two of them. And yet mixing doesn't seem to be happening. So why do you think that might be? What could we say that might explain what's going on there? And the next thing I want to think about is, what if we had done this experiment upside down? What do you think would happen? What if I had the warm yellow jar on the bottom and the cold blue jar on the top? What do you think might happen? I don't think I can do this. And the act of doing it might also be a problem for the lab, but let's see what happens here. All right, so now we have hot on the bottom. I can still feel the warmth in the cup, cold on the top, and you can see now I have a green mixture. So what happened? What changed when I did that? All right, you have your student activity sheet that you need to fill out. We're doing that using Kami, so you can get that back to me. Thanks, Frank. Hey guys, we are still working on our density as part of our properties of matter. Density is one of the physical properties of matter. So we are continuing on the last bit of our lab here. I have ice water here. I have hot water here. It was boiling just a minute ago. You might be able to see the condensation around the edge there. It's been so hot. And then room temperature water here. My cold water, I'm going to put a drop of blue dye in so that we can identify it more easily. My hot water, I'm going to put in a drop of yellow. Going to stir both. I'm using different droppers here because I don't want to mix the colors inside the droppers when I start picking some of this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this transfer pipette. Lay people would call this a dropper, but in science we call it a transfer pipette. And I'm going to put this down all the way, halfway down, and I'm going to very, very gently slowly squeeze so that the cold water is coming out. Go ahead and do that one more time here. Give that another drop, make it just a little bit darker. Yep, that was blue. Okay. Halfway down. There we go. That's a little stronger color, so maybe you can see it. So I'm halfway down the water column. I am slowly injecting ice cold water in. There's the sun leaping out at us to help us see. So you can see, that's about as large as I can make it, but you can see there's a bluish tint down here at the very, very bottom, and it's still clear up top here. All right, now let's take our recently boiling very hot water. I'm going halfway down in again, and I'm releasing very, very slowly. Do that one more time, but I'm going to bring you over with me. Whoa, losing here. But I'm going to take you off the tripod, bring you in real close so that we can see what's happening here. I'm full. I'm halfway down. Very, very slowly squeezing yellow, hot water in. All right, let's look closer. closely here. I'm gonna get where I can see behind there. So you can see we're getting some separation here. We've got blue down at the bottom, faint as it is, and we're getting yellow at the top. What we're not getting is green. So if I were to mix these together, you can see that the whole thing is going to turn green very quickly, but that's not what I'm getting over here. So it is staying unmixed. So what does that tell you about the behavior of different temperatures of water, and how does that relate to density?